you put cheese on there?
All right.
Are you good? Should I hit the theme song?
Yeah, hit it, dude. Let's do this.
I'm hitting it. Let's do this. Boom. Theme song initiated. Go.
I am super duper cereal.
What do you hear? Do you hear something weird?
I don't hear anything.
You got some Sam Adams there, Chief?
Yet again.
Yet again.
It's here.
You didn't finish it yet?
Go through so much of this stuff.
So, hey, buddy.
Okay. Advantage of a wedding band.
Oh, nice. I feel like
I can't-
I don't have the physical strength to do that.
You know what? Neither does my fucking finger, but it's done.
Hey. You want to see what I'm drinking?
No, I can't see it.
I said, do you want to see?
Oh, sure.
See if I can get it to focus here.
Bro, I just spilled beer all over myself.
Wonderful.
It was horrible. Oh yeah, my carpet's wet.
Need to deal with that?
Hmm?
Do you need to deal with that?
I'm gonna.
Okay.
2 seconds.
Okay.
All right.
What did you just do? Did you just
I
turn your
took my
shirt around?
undershirt off.
Yeah.
Took my undershirt off. Put my
Okay.
sweatshirt back on, and then now I'm pushing into my carpet with my fucking feet.
Hey, man. Just don't have a
Dude,
towel
come on,
handy.
bro. Ingenuity, my
You're
friend.
good to go.
You gotta be prepared for these sorts of things.
So,
So how is everybody doing out there?
hey, what's up,
Welcome back to
everyone?
Super Serial. I'm your host, Joe Hunnick, and I'm here with the kid.
Oh, good
How
lord.
are you, kid?
I'm great, Dro. I'm
It's
drinking
Dro.
a Birdsong Brewing Mexicali Stout. It is a Mexican coffee stout brewed in Charlotte, North Carolina.
And obviously, it's an American stout, stupids.
Well then, silly them, misnaming it.
All right.
It's pretty good. I like it. It's not It's got like a little bit of spiciness to it, like a Mexican coffee, you know?
Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
Wait, a Mexican coffee? I
Dig it.
thought coffee's from Colombia, Jake. Actually, Juan Valdez made coffee.
Who is that?
So you're wrong. Juan Valdez, dude.
I don't
Come
know.
on. Well, you know what? Maybe you're not old enough for that.
Maybe not. Maybe. I'm growing coffee plants in my my Stardew Valley game, but you don't know nothing about that. So
Stardew Valley?
Stardew?
Stardew Valley?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
So what's up,
this-
man? How are
Today
ya?
in history. Today in history.
Oh, today in
John
history. Let's
Glenn.
do it.
John Glenn was the February 20th. Don't know the year. He was the first American to orbit the Earth.
Hey, neato.
Today in history, ladies and gentlemen.
That's cool.
Yeah, why not, dude? You got to bring that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Go America.
Go.
Go America.
I have some Chinese thing on my right here.
I like it.
Yep.
I wish I could zoom in. I wish I could click on it and zoom in, but I can't.
Jeff Chen gave
Not
me
possible.
that. Here, I'll show you. Beep. A little closer. It's like fish and stuff.
Of course, Jeff Chen gave it to you. Wow, that is really cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is cool.
He went to China and brought it back a couple years ago.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
he's a good friend. Brought me a souvenir.
Jeff Chen's cool, dude. I've always liked Jeff Chen.
Jeff Chen's the man, dude. He's
Yeah,
the
he's
best.
a really like I always remember Jeff Chen just being like such a nice guy.
He is a really nice guy.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious too.
Mm-hmm. And he was dating that really hot redhead.
Yeah, she's in California now. She's gone.
I don't care. I'm just thinking about how I liked Jeff Chen, and then when he showed up with his girlfriend one night, I was like, I really like Jeff Chen.
I really like Jeff Chen. He has good taste.
He has good taste
Just,
all around. And you know what the thing is
Solid
with Jeff-
judgment on that guy.
always solid judgment on that guy. He's always smiling. He's always got he's got such a kind
Yeah.
smile. Like he's
You know
just,
what it is?
yeah.
He's always smiling because he's like kind of a cheerful guy.
Yeah.
as opposed to somebody like Tyler who's always smiling because he doesn't seem to take anything seriously at all.
Seriously, yeah.
But I
Tyler's
love
awesome.
him for it. Yeah, I love him for it.
Well, that's the thing too. Is it's funny because I really don't think I've ever really spent any time bullshitting with Jeff Chen.
Oh,
I've never actually like bullshitted with Jeff Chen.
No.
I've seen Jeff Chen. We've hung out.
If you ever get the chance, he's yeah.
I will. Honestly,
You know what?
Jake,
You know what he and I talk about a lot when we conversate. We talk about like comic book movies and stuff and shit like that. Other than that, we talk a lot about like just like kind of heavy life stuff.
Yeah.
And kind of not a lot in between. But I want to get him on here, man, so I can, talk to him about all kinds of things.
Dude, I've got people that want to get on.
Yeah?
I have people that want. Dude, I was just talking to my
Make it
friend
happen,
Sean
dude.
today. Yeah, my friend Sean. I actually just sent him the link today.
Mm-hmm.
He invited me over. We're gonna do a dinner party, and he had been talking about it for a while. He actually just had a baby.
Oh,
so
cool.
congrats to Sean and Nicole. I was telling him, I was like, yeah, dude, I said, my cousin's doing this podcast. It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun, dude. I really have a good time doing it. And I was like, you should hear it. You should listen to it. So I sent him the trailer from last Sunday's episode.
Oh, hold
and,
on. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I just realized I never,
hit record?
No, I hit record. I just didn't put the video on.
The video?
Yeah, I had just had the standby on. The standby image, which was just a logo.
Oh, cool. Good.
Yeah.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was I was telling him about it, and he was like, dude, that's awesome. He goes, you know what, man? He says, it's funny. I really feel the vibe from the two of you guys. He goes, but I got to tell you, I got to be a part of this. I want on. He was
Hell
like,
yeah,
I want
dude.
on. I'm like, really? He was like, yeah, dude. He said, I really do. And because I was telling him about the interviews and everything that you did.
Yeah.
And he goes, I want on. He says, I don't want to, I will partake. He says, but I want to be involved. And I'm like, good for you. 'Cause Sean's hilarious too. Sean's really cool. And he
Hell
said
yeah,
it right
dude.
away, too. I said, yeah, I'm doing one with my cousin Jake. He was like, yeah, North Carolina. He says he was the one that had the party at the house, right? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, first time I met him, great guy. Really liked him. And
Hey,
I'm like,
cool.
Yeah, Sean's great, dude.
I don't. I would have to. I would obviously have to.
Have to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you would want to probably bullshit with him. Yeah, but you know what, dude? Why?
Wait, what do you mean?
He agrees. What do you mean? You want to like bullshit with him beforehand?
No. I just mean I
Oh.
would have to see his face to remember
To know
who he
who I
is.
was talking about.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. Sean easily has one of the funniest stories in my life. One of those moments that no matter when you think about it or you're about to tell the story,
Yeah.
you laugh because it was funny, but it wasn't funny.
Uh-oh.
But it was really
Those are the
funny.
best stories, though.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, this is hands down one of the best stories ever.
Okay.
Me, Brian, and Sean go to visit our friend John in college. I don't remember where it was. I want to say it was somewhere in Massachusetts. We drive all the way up, hanging out. We weren't even drinking. We were just hanging out, just BS and everything like that, hanging out in the kids' college dorm. And then we ended up leaving. I remember us going somewhere, and then I don't remember all this because the main thing I remember, we pull right out from the entrance
Mm-hmm.
of the college, pull up across the street, and Sean's like, I got to pee, dude. So I'm going to go pee. I'm like,
Okay.
all right. So I'm sitting in the driver's seat. Brian's sitting next to me. And of course, me and Brian turn the music on, start dancing and everything like that, being goofballs like we were, probably making each other crack up and everything. And then all of a sudden, Sean goes, what the hell was Brian's like, what was that? And I go, what? We turn the volume down, and all we hear is like that far off, help, help. And I'm like,
And he heard that like through the music?
we heard it somehow or another because I think Brian was also like, where the heck is Sean? But then we ended up hearing it, but whatever. I don't remember those specifics. But dude, I remember walking up, up to this line of trees. So here
Okay.
I am, I walk up, and
Okay.
I'm standing at this line of trees. It's dark out, so all I
Mhm.
see is a bunch of trees, and I'm looking
And then
out.
darkness behind them, yeah.
Yeah, he just went into the woods and he's going pee. So
Sure.
I hear, dude, you gotta help me. And I'm like, bro, where are you right now? He goes, Joe, I'm right here.
And what do you think he
I'm
could what could he possibly have gotten into just walking
Where
into?
is he? Yeah. Well, you know what he got into?
I got
Like
it. My leg's in a bear trap, dude.
Dude, it was like a 10-foot drop right
What?
where the trees were. Dude, I walk up, it's a wall. The trees are 40 feet high.
Oh.
You know what I mean? They're huge trees. So we're looking and we're like,
Oh,
wow,
so
those
you
are
thought
big-
the ground where the trees were
Mm-mm.
rooted was at your feet, but
Dude,
there's actually a cliff and
wall.
the trees are rooted down
Wall.
there.
It was because there was a wall there. There was a
Yeah,
wall. Like
right,
I thought
right.
it was like the opposite. He says, yeah, no, dude. He says he steps off, dude. It was just like, Gone.
Like some Looney Tunes shit.
Now, Jake, you know how big and now this is when I was younger, dude. This is right out of high school, dude. So
Yeah.
I was in decent shape, dude. I was always a big,
Mhm,
strong dude.
mhm.
Bro, I'm bending down and I'm reaching down
Yeah.
like past the edge of this wall, and he's jumping up to grab my hand, dude.
Where,
It
wait,
was a
where was this
solid.
again?
This was somewhere in Massachusetts. It was just some,
Okay.
you know what I mean, like, well, well grounds kept rock wall from some
Okay.
rich, college
Whatever,
or whatever.
yeah.
I don't remember where it was, dude. I
Okay.
can't remember. I'm sure if I probe a little bit, Sean will be able to tell you. Sean does not remember this as such a happy situation. Sean was up
Mm.
for a few months.
Oh man.
And I always was like, dude, that day, right? And he was like, bro, it wasn't cool. It wasn't fun, dude. That was horror. And I'm like, dude, I remember it as one of the funniest moments in my life.
Oh my
And
god.
Sean remembers it as hands down one of the worst.
Like a traumatic, awful experience.
Oh yeah, like
Did he,
bad. And
like,
now
what hap-
it's like one of the.
He got like
you know.
injured badly by falling, or
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm pretty sure I broke my leg. Just went to the hospital or anything.
what?
Yeah, it was bad. It was
Wow.
bad. But
So you
anyway,
got him. So he
we're
jumped
doing
up.
a dinner
he grabbed
party. He
you
would like to
and-
get on this.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Yeah, absolutely. Hook it up. Make it happen. I'm
I
down.
will. My volume is not working well right now. I think I need a new headset.
You can't hear me real good.
I can hear you fine now. I had to turn my volume up on my computer.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
What are we getting into?
Yeah. So we decided going forward we're gonna try and do themes for the episodes, right? Not specific topics, but a theme. So we pick a theme and then find things that are like at least 75% related to the theme. I guess something like that. I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
Whatever, dude. So
Whatever. It's pretty much the same
with,
theme that we've been talking about the whole time.
Yeah.
It really is.
What do you mean? The whole time.
If we're looking at today's theme as
Oh yeah, we kind of already underground stuff. Like,
Yeah, that's
like caves and shit that's underground or like buried underneath stuff, whatever. And there's a bazillion directions we could potentially go with that, but we started out talking about you mentioned to me some giant cave, right?
Yeah, well, the thing that actually made me look at this is there was this underwater cave down in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Underwater cave. Now that crap freaks me out, man.
Are you
Spelunkers
talking
and-
about shit? Sac oat. I don't remember what it's called. Something.
Okay, cool. I don't know.
Well, it's the second largest cave in the world, apparently.
No, I don't remember. It's someplace down in Mexico, but there were these divers, and because of Ice Age.
Can I just pause you real quick?
Yeah.
Cave diving underwater is like a really dumb thing to do, right? Like, are you really that desperate for like exploration and like adrenaline in your life that you like? Scuba diving is so fucking dangerous already, dude.
So
It's
dangerous already.
my theory about scuba diving is that you have there's so much planning and like timing and like instruments you have to be paying attention to, and like so you have to be breathing so like precisely to keep your buoyancy level and shit like that. I'm convinced that somebody way back put all this like thought into the preparation and the thought around it, so you don't think about the fact that at any moment something awful could happen and you can die. And it's 100 times more likely than any other situation. Like, yeah, you're driving, it's super dangerous, cross the street, whatever, you can get hit by a meteor, but like you're actively exponentially increasing your chances of dying just by going scuba diving
all the time, right? But
constantly at any moment.
As soon as you hit the
somebody
water,
could it
just gets worse and worse and worse and worse.
deeper
though.
and deeper and deeper.
It's not even the deeper. The
it is
longer
it is
you're
the deeper
underwater,
though. It is. Yeah,
As
well,
soon
it's
as
because
you
of the
hit the
depth.
water-
It's because of the depth. Because you're talking about the bends and shit, the nitrogen and the
No,
pressure
I'm
and
also
stuff.
just talking about the fact that as soon as you hit the water, you're
Yeah.
relying on a tank of air.
Oh, right.
Only
Well,
running out.
and the thing too is the deeper you go, the more time you have to take to resurface. So if you go down real low and you miscalculated your air, you can't just shoot back up. You could die or get incredibly sick for like weeks and weeks and weeks. Exactly, dude. Exactly.
What does the bend stand for? But
It doesn't stand. I don't know what it stands for, but it's nitrogen poisoning. Because
nitrogen poisoning.
because nitrogen from the air in your tank, because it can't be pure oxygen. It's nitrogen and oxygen, just like the air around us.
around us.
It doesn't have as much other chemicals in it, but the pressure causes your body something to do with the pressure. I don't know the exact science of it, but being down, the water pressure actually pressurizes your cells, and it makes nitrogen go into your cells. Yeah. And what happens is if you go up too quick, it escapes out of your cells and goes into your bloodstream, and you get poisoned.
Yeah.
And forget about the fact that, like, if you do something stupid like hold your breath while you're at depth and then surface while your breath is held, your lungs will explode. Or a bubble that's in your somewhere in your system could creep into like one of your fillings, and then as you go up, it expands and like can mess with like. There's so many things that can go wrong. With that being said, people take all of that and they go, you know what? Let's do all that way deep inside an underwater cave
where it's pitch black, and if
where
my
it's
battery
pitch,
dies,
where
it's
it's
fine,
pitch
but don't
black,
worry, because
and there's
I've
this
got
much
this
space at
reel.
in the top. All your important jiggly bits on the tank are this far from a whole bunch of jagged rocks the whole way you're going. What?
With a reel,
Yeah, with a reel, yeah, and
with
a rope.
reel and a bunch of string, ladies and gentlemen. They go in with a little thing they hold in their hand. It's about this big, probably about that round, and it's just a reel, like a fucking fish on a line. And they're just swimming around these caves. We're like, well, I'll just keep reeling it up.
This is cool.
This is a
Oh
good.
my
Well, you
God.
know what it is, dude? El Dorado.
Yeah, they're looking for. They're hoping to
See,
stumble
look at
upon
it,
some
Yeah, look at. I found that. Well, anyway,
buildings made of gold and shit.
Somebody actually came across like a body, a human remains that was like over 9,000 years old. They also find skeletal remains of a giant sloth, multiple different extinct bears
In
because
this
they
cave
think what
in Mexico?
yeah, because well,
Holy
this is how
shit.
this is how
Oh, because it used to not be underwater, I assume.
Ice
right?
Age. Not even that it wasn't even underwater, Jake. These are caves.
Yeah, but
So
I mean, they
even though-
weren't. They had to have been
they were just
terrestrial caves,
Right,
and then the
right,
ice
right.
age, went down. The water flooded in and buried all the stuff and
Well,
preserved
one of
it.
my things
Whatever.
that I was thinking about too, though, dude, there's no reason why bodies of things couldn't be deposited there because they were preserved in the ice, Jake.
Oh, that's true too.
Something was
Yeah,
in
just
the
float.
cave.
Yeah,
Something was in the cave and the water rushed in like that. It would pulverize shit.
yeah, that's
You
true.
know what I'm saying? It would
Yeah.
batter it, dude. This is probably
point.
stuff that was deposited because of the cold temperature.
Yo, I think a tree just fell down outside. Did you guys hear that? A tree just fell down outside.
No way.
Yep. I need to go look at that. That was definitely the sound of a tree coming down.
Let me just tell you, this is some of the best podcasts we've ever done.
So
You need
yeah,
to bring your
I
camera.
need to go address that. Give me a second.
All right, pause this. Or do you want? I'll just keep talking. You can edit through all this.
Did they just cut a tree down?
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. This is live action situation. This is something that is beyond anything that we could have controlled. If a tree just fell at Jake's house, what are the percentages? And nobody was in there. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, did it really fall? You bet your ass it really fell. Trees fall all the time. It's a stupid notion. The chicken or the egg. Who cares? Who cares? Over easy, man. Over easy. I don't know why I got my small cup. But yeah. So anyway, I'm pretty sure he's on his way back. If anybody had heard that. This was fun. I'm happy we had this time together. As Jake does return, I prefer if everybody not talk about what we talked about while he was gone. I really feel like it'll upset him, He's a very sensitive guy. Great kid though. I was there the day Jake was born. I remember being in the hospital room the day Jake was born.
A bear today?
And now here he is. My little cousin.
Okay.
My cousin.
Even cooler than a
Back.
tree going down. So my
Car
neighbor, I don't know if I ever told you, the neighbors on either side of me, both have been here for 15, 20 years. And they've developed a system over time where what they do is they both have a store of firecrackers. And there's bears in the area. And what they do is when one of them sees a bear, they throw their firecrackers outside.
There's a bear outside.
So it's the signal to the neighborhood that there's a bear around. And also, apparently, when a bear gets captured and relocated, they do the same thing to scare the bear off. So all these bears in the area are tagged. And what they do is they're under the assumption that these same bears kind of might already have that conditioning to run away from firecrackers.
Oh, wow.
And the sound of the firecrackers, to me, with my headphones on, sounded like a tree coming down and hitting a whole bunch of, snapping a bunch. Yeah, sound exactly like that.
Yep.
Because I didn't hear a thud, I just heard all the crackling.
That's even cooler, dude. That's even cooler than a tree falling.
Hell, way cooler.
That's
I
way
hung it up.
cooler.
Hung it up. Oh, I did take it. Oh, my bad. um, yeah, so there could potentially be a bear, which it's so funny that that's even happening because we were at the nature center today and they have bears and they weren't out and we were all disappointed. Well, I was disappointed that we didn't get to see the bears. But yeah, so there could be a bear like lurking around my house. Right, I just went outside into the driveway, and the neighbor was like looking out, and I was like, "Hey, did you guys hear that?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's a bear." I was like, "Okay, see it." Went back, turned around. Okay, good luck. I'm gonna get inside now.
Into your yeah.
Yeah,
the
right.
Thing is just charging.
It could have
at
been
ya.
behind me as I'm standing there, like, "Did you guys hear that?"
You guys hear that? Yeah, we're gonna watch your dog.
Ah!
He's gonna not eat our dog now.
Right. Oh my
Holy
god. Yeah,
crap,
there's
dude,
legit bears
that's
around here
great.
with all the mountains, all the like uninhabited, thick forest mountains around here. Bears, there's tons of them.
Bro, that's one of the other things too, man. Like you think about how we cut through forests.
Oh yeah.
Like you look at a satellite
dude,
map of stuff.
Any area that humans modified was previously the home to all sorts of tons of wildlife, all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
So
always
forests,
see-
plains,
yeah.
anything.
Well, dude, that's what the thing is. If you consistently look at a satellite map,
Yeah.
you pull up a satellite map without the road thing on it,
Yeah.
you see little bits of huge highways here and there. Otherwise, it's all just green, lush.
That's true, man.
Forests.
Yeah, unless
Look
it's a
at
big
it.
city, yeah.
Yeah, unless it's a big city, that's it,
Mhm.
dude. You know what I mean? Who the hell wants to zoom out?
Yeah, because you don't really think about the fact like you're driving down the road, a lot of the
You're cutting
time.
through.
Well, a
You
lot of,
clear cut.
well, a lot of the time when you're going down the road, you don't realize the fact that there are trees over top of you a lot. You don't really see it because you're looking at the road, you're paying attention driving, probably thinking about where you're headed to or whatever.
There's trees everywhere.
But if you
all the time.
really if you're present and you look around, a lot of the time there's trees like everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's intense.
yeah. But anyways,
Well, we should. Yeah, I feel like we should talk about that and not caves and people going scuba diving in these caves.
so
Why?
dumb, dude. It's so
It
stupid.
just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, so these guys did find human remains over 9,000 years old from the Ice Age and everything.
That's
Like that.
awesome.
It was actually from the Pleistocene, dude. That's like 1.2 million up to like 11,000 years ago or something like that. And it could
That
be
sounds
anywhere.
right.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
So it was pretty intense, and that was actually what made me look into another thing that I actually thought I had brought up one other podcast. I was talking about we were talking about how plants and everything like that have developed defensive tactics and how plants have adapted and everything. And it was in this show that I watched called How to Grow a Planet.
Oh, that
was
sounds
something
cool.
I was trying to think of. As I started, remembering it and thinking about caves, there was this cave called, I think it's Hung Sung Dong or something like that. Cave, and it's in Vietnam.
It's it was like Sun Hoong or something.
Sung Hoong.
Yeah, you told me to
Sung
say
Hoong?
yeah. Sun
Sun-
Doong Cave.
Sung Dung Cave.
Sun Doong Cave.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I saw was that it is it has the largest cross sectional like area of like in the world of like a single cave like space.
It's insane. It was unreal. Like
I didn't look at it at all.
No, nothing. Oh, dude.
No, not
it's
really.
Such a while.
I wanted you to kind of school me on it.
All right. It's a certain type of cave that's specifically. It's all out of limestone. It's all from water just eroding it.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of them are. But yeah.
Yeah. It was discovered in like 1991
Wow,
by
really,
this guy.
pretty
that
recent.
Was very recent.
Whoa.
By this guy that was just hiking. The guy was just.
Isn't
out
it crazy
hiking around.
how much people discover just fucking hiking around? I don't know. I just
And
went
think
this
about
area.
these
There was no
people that are like,
paths.
yeah, no, dude, this is my 77th trip, like in between these caves with my scuba tanks and everything. We've really got it down. And this guy was like,
I was like, oh, what's that? A little hole. Oh,
Yeah,
it just
what is that?
keeps
Oh.
on going.
yeah, okay. So it ends up being this freaking cave, dude, that has stalactites so tall.
Mm-hmm.
They're like
Stalactites are the
70
ones that come down from the ceiling.
Bro,
right?
you can fit 40-story skyscrapers inside this cave. 40
What?
story, 40.
That's bananas, dude. So what's a
Story.
story's like? What, 10 feet?
It's like
Right?
16 feet or something.
Is it
12
16?
feet or
Wow.
something like that. It's
It's
because
probably
you gotta
12.
go
We have the thickness of the floor, and then an
On
average
both,
ceiling
yeah.
height is 8
So
or
12.
9 feet.
So 12. We'll go 12.
Okay, I'll call it 12.
I think we'll call it 12. It's unbelievable, dude.
bananas, dude.
There's so much information on it, Jake. I can't even begin to brush the surface. I read
Yeah.
this thing like 3 or 4 times, dude. It was insane. The highest depth is 490 feet, almost 500 feet, bro. It's approximately 30,000 feet long.
Wow, that's what, like 6
30,000
miles?
feet long. Yep. Yeah, right.
A little under 6 miles.
It's just a little under 6 miles.
5,700, or no, maybe, well, whatever. 5,700 feet, something like that.
5,000 some odd feet. We're so stupid. Us as humans. We're so dumb, dude. So dumb. And why aren't we using the metric system? Honestly, like, why
I don't know,
can't we?
man.
Like, oh no, dude, tens.
That's one of the few, like, honestly, I don't consider myself like a patriotic person per se, but I
Yeah, but that
am
was a dumb
happy.
decision.
I'm happy that I live in the United States, but one of the things that's embarrassing about it is the fact that we don't use the metric system. It's just
No,
asinine,
there's
dude.
just, everything's in tens. It's such a simple.
Oh
thing.
my God, it's so
Ugh.
simple. But anyway,
So in this cave, and now they think it's between, I think it's 2 to 5 million years old.
okay.
It has its own climate.
I'm sure it does, right? Yeah, there's probably clouds and
Dude.
shit in there.
There's clouds and shit in there, bro.
Oh.
It's insane. Now listen, dude.
How big is the entrance to the outside, though?
Not big, and as far as they know, there's only 2. The cave runs approximately
Whoa.
5.6 miles, and there's only like 2 ways to get in.
Now, is this like at sea level or above sea level?
I didn't get it. I have the location and shit, but dude, it's in coordinates.
That's okay.
It's map coordinates.
Yeah, I
you
don't
what
know.
There's
I don't know my-
approximately, it says.
I haven't brushed up on my coordinates.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what I mean? Okay,
My
yeah,
latitude
you
and
got 17
longitude.
17 degrees by 27 and 25 north.
Oh, that's just right by
106,
26 north.
Oh yeah, the coordinates are 17 degrees,
Sure.
27. Yeah.
Got it. Nailed it. Yep. I'm just zeroed in my head.
Exactly.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
I know
So
right
figure
where
it
it
out.
is.
I
I
don't
know
know. Grab
right-
the calculator.
Yeah,
Grab
I've
the
been.
calculator. Figure out the math. I don't know if it's above sea level. There's approximately 2 entrances to the place, dude. There's a section in this cave where the ceiling collapses.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's developed its own rainforest, bro.
God damn. Oh, because the sun gets in.
The sun gets in.
Oh, I think I've seen pictures of this.
Dude, you've definitely seen pictures of this.
Yeah,
know what
I
I'm
have.
talking
I
about.
have.
They the
I have
picture
seen
down
that.
the
Yep.
cave, and then you see it inside
The sun
that
coming
little-
in like in a big beam and like.
Bro,
Wow.
insane, dude. Insane. They only allow like 450 people a year. Like, they don't want people in there.
That's awesome.
Very exclusive, dude. They actually, somebody was talking about trying to develop a
hotel.
like a cable system. No, a cable
Oh,
system.
that's
They're
cool.
like,
Like cable cars and stuff.
We'll destroy it, dude. We would destroy
Yeah,
it.
they would have
Fill
to
it
like
in, fill it
drill
in.
into it, and they don't really. They'd have to
Nope,
measure.
Don't touch it,
yeah.
dude. That's my personal opinion. And a
Just
lot of
leave
times,
it
dude, you
alone.
know me, dude. Like, I like eating meats, dude. I don't mind if people want to.
You know what they should do?
Me.
You know what they
Like, I
should
don't-
do? They should send a drone in there. And
They
have
did.
it,
They have phenomenal
but
drone.
no, but have a
footage.
drone go in there with a 360-degree camera and just bounce back and forth and do 100% of the 3D space in there, so you
Why
can
don't
do like a.
Why don't you use the thing they did with the Mayan temple? The what is it? LiDAR.
No. What I'm saying is that if people want to go there, if they took a drone with a 360-degree camera.
No, you
and-
can. You can go on nationalgeographic.com right now, dude, and take a tour of this thing, just like fucking satellite imagery. Right
Oh,
now.
okay. Well, what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking of is like a VR experience where if you like pretended you were on a drone and you could go to any
dude,
part in 3-dimensional space of
I
this
don't
cave,
doubt
that would
for
be
a second
cool.
somebody would be able to take the program that National Geographic has to be able
Yeah?
to fly around in that.
Cool.
Oh, yeah,
I'll have to check it out.
technology. Yeah, definitely check it out. But it really is, dude. It's an absolute unbelievable cave, dude. And it was like, I had seen it on this How to Grow a Planet video, and
So what does it have to? Why was it on that video? Just because it's got this microcosm
because
of
it's
like.
got it was because
life
it was
on the
talking
planet or
about,
something?
It was talking about how life and plants and everything grow from light. Everything
Oh, okay.
from light.
Right.
From a
Right.
star, however many millions of miles away, dude, onto this one little speck of dirt that we
Yeah.
call our freaking home planet. And this light got into some cave that after millions of years was changed and dug out.
Yep.
And then the
like
ceiling
birds shit in
collapsed
there and
light
left
came in,
seeds
birds
and
shit in there
yeah.
and left seeds, and
That's cool.
it's unbelievable. It is. It's so exciting.
Yeah, man.
Stuff like this is so exciting. That's one
And
of the
what's
reasons
cool too
why.
is like even if that hadn't happened, because like species that do end up in caves, they don't start in there. They creep in from the outside and
Everything. Well,
then
like
change.
like the crocodiles we were talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is because of a new food source, whatever reason. And that's
And then over
We
time,
always,
yeah.
over time, everything just it's unreal though,
Well,
dude.
that's actually I want to talk about that because that's one of the things that I looked at a little bit. Um, the species that live exclusively in caves are called troglobites.
Troglobites.
Not to be confused with troglodyte, which is like
Yeah.
some ancient thing. I don't really know, but you know it talks. What I was reading talks just about the characteristics, the shared characteristics of things that live
Mostly
exclusively in
darkness?
caves. Well, yeah, it's like they either lose or have a decrease in their eyesight. They lose
Yep.
pigment.
Mhm.
They have increased sensors on their body and all very depending on the species and
For feel and everything
for
like
feel and chemical and smell and stuff like that and movement sensing and shit. But all these things evolved from something that came in from the outside. You know, just like you're saying, it wasn't something that started in there. It came in from the outside and then was able to
developed
survive
into that. So think about how
yeah,
long. Like that's the other thing too is that you have to think about if something did choose to say, all right, there's a food source in here that we can take advantage of.
yeah,
That thing needs to go into that cave consistently.
or just stay there.
Its mate needs to consistently be in
Right.
or out or staying in that cave.
It needs
Then
to.
their
I imagine it needs to stay in, and their offspring
It
forever.
needs-
Yeah, eventually to the point where like for some reason. I mean, that's the thing is like we've said a million times, dude. Evolution happens. I think it happens a ton of different ways because it's not necessarily that. You know, once it goes in there, it doesn't have a. Like for example, the fact that they have like a lack of pigment, right? How does that happen? They're in darkness, so having pigment isn't going to make them more likely to get killed, and they're you know what I mean? Because like the way evolution happens sometimes, where if it's like there's a genetic quirk that causes something to be, like make it more likely for it to survive, and therefore it passes.
Yeah.
But if
Okay.
you go into a cave and with a species goes into a cave that has pigment in its skin, if it's in darkness anyway,
Yeah, it's not going to be seen.
it's not going to be
Why?
seen whether it has pigment or not. But it
Okay,
could be
so-
something to do with the fact that we wouldn't really know stuff. You know, if your pigment is activated by, or it could just be the fact that whatever resources in the embryonic development go toward developing pigment, just
Didn't need
whatever
to work as hard
didn't
because
need
it
to
was
work-
really it was concentrating on that field.
or that could be activated by sunlight. We don't know. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff about genetics we don't know. Maybe the pigment activation genetically is activated by sunlight. Maybe the mother being in the sun, there's some genetic thing that happens through the
So maybe
umbilical
we
cord or
came
whatever.
out of the cave.
No idea.
Maybe things came out of the cave. Holy crap! This totally brings us back to the chicken or the egg thing that I mentioned while you were away.
What if life started out of inside the earth instead of like panspermia? What? We probably sound so fucking stupid right
There's
now.
there's got to be a theory on that. Come on,
Could be, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But I thought that was really cool that, they all kind of share those. I mean, there are some cave-dwelling species that are not blind, but most of them have, like, not a lot of eyesight and stuff.
All right, here you go.
It's a lot of bugs, too.
Cutest underground looking animal.
What do you mean?
The cute. What do you find to be one of the cutest?
That
Underground
that I
animals.
know of?
Mhm.
Like a mole, maybe?
Nope. Fairy armadillo.
Is it the little pink one?
Oh, those things are
Is
cute.
it the pink one?
It's got like half, like a half armadillo looking thing.
Is it pink, though?
It's like all furry. Looks cute.
Oh,
We'll
I
see.
think I've seen those, yeah.
We'll see. You'll see.
So did you just ask me my opinion on a matter, and then I answered it, and you told me I was wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted
did.
to make sure. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
I do the same thing all the time.
Yeah, it's the best way to interact with humans.
My go-to line is, "Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. Your opinion is
It's
wrong, but you're
It's
entitled
wrong,
to it."
But you're entitled to it.
Sure.
You know?
You're
Dude,
entitled
so
to be
listen
wrong.
this. As I'm like jotting stuff down,
Mhm.
I realized halfway through that I used this piece of paper to take an order today. So I almost started telling you about how there's the Toyota Camry code number. Oh man.
Speaking of
Right.
caves,
Speaking,
we just got
dude,
this
this other
great
thing that
auto
this guy
paint
discovered, man,
and
it was amazing. It was giant sloths, and it was some kind of specific types of bears that were extinct, and it was a 040 Toyota Camry. And
isn't that crazy?
isn't that crazy, dude?
Um,
Um,
so yeah, so the cave that I actually did a little bit of research on is called.
can you give me 2 seconds? Gotta
Yeah,
take
sure.
this.
Pause.
Pause.
Mark for cut.
Mark for cut. Now you gotta leave it. You gotta roll with this right now. This is a challenge for you. You
Okay,
have to
see
see
if I
how
can
entertaining.
monologue.
Monologue. I just monologue while you were going looking at the bear tree.
Oh, did you? Oh, I don't even know what you said. That's great. Um, yeah, the thing about me and Joe is we can just talk about anything, but I guess it just sounds like the ramblings of a couple people who know each other real well, and it might be kind of hard to relate to if you don't know us or if you don't know the stories we're talking about or the people we're talking about. So we decided it's probably a little better if we have just like a rough theme so we can engage the listener a little better. Maybe you can learn something. Maybe we can learn something. And then, we throw a few anecdotes in there, talk about our lives, talk about our experiences, and, let us know what you think. Anyways.
So the cave that you looked into.
Yeah, that you recommended I look into.
Kentucky.
Mammoth Cave. Mammoth Cave in
The biggest
Kentucky.
one in the United States,
It's
right?
called Mammoth because the word mammoth means large, not because that has anything to do with woolly
With
mammoths or anything.
mastodons.
Yeah, nothing to do with any of that. So don't get excited.
I just got fucking pumped. Dude.
Oh, I really
got
built
real
you.
pumped.
I built you up and I let you down, and I'm sorry.
We're done here.
We're done. Shut it off. This is over.
This is over.
So, this is the largest known cave system, period. It's not one single room, but apparently more than about 412 miles of it have been explored, meaning that people traveled on foot 412 miles through various channels and tunnels and rooms and stuff, exploring this cave system, and it has not been fully explored. I didn't see an estimate on how big they think it actually is, because I don't think that they're actually completely done with it. And actually, from what I read too, it used to be considered two separate cave systems. I think from like opposite ends, and somebody I guess was like, "Hey, I think they might be connected." So they sent teams of people in from both ends,
And from both sides,
and
to
they met.
chisel it out.
Yeah, they didn't chisel it out. They ended up finding each other. Okay, and we're back. So as I was saying, or what we were talking about.
We were talking about the cave systems and how.
Right. Oh, and people exploring them. And you said you've never looked. You said you've never looked at a cave and just gone like.
I've never
I'm gonna
just
go in
walked
there.
inside of a cave. I would never just like
A
walk
cave
inside
that
of a
you
cave.
knew nothing about. Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
So
because for
people
all you
that,
know,
like,
the ground you step on, 30 feet into the cave is just sticks, and then you
Yeah.
drop down
I don't know
forever.
how am I supposed. What the? Yeah,
Yeah, no
exactly.
idea.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nope,
because
that's it, and
yeah,
I don't
because
exist anymore.
people find caverns and shit like that. We're like, oh yeah, my cat. I sent my cattle out to graze, and there was 20 of them, and 19 came back. And I was looking for the last one, and I saw its feet
Right.
sticking out of this hole in the ground, and I
Mhm.
I looked in, and it was, the
Yeah.
size of the Titanic, a hole.
Yeah, exactly. F that noise. No way.
Dude, and it's crazy because that's how people find these things. Dude. I mean, I've been in caverns, but ones that have been like heavily explored, and there's like a building around the entrance, and like there's a guide that takes you in, and it's all lit up with electricity and stuff.
Yeah.
But I ain't wandering into some shit I find in the woods.
No, there's no absolutely no reason whatsoever I would be doing that, dude.
No way.
Not a
You
chance,
just call
dude.
somebody, call the professionals. You find something like
Yeah.
that.
I'm not doing this, dude. I'm not
Mhm.
doing that. Yeah, it's
No,
crazy. It
thank
blows my
you.
mind though, but people do that stuff.
Yeah, dude.
They really do, and they just jump right into it, and they love it. They love the idea of doing it. It's like so super intriguing to them, and there's the drive to just want to all the time. And to me,
Mm-mm.
I think you're out of your mind, dude.
No, I get my jollies some other way, man. I don't need
Yeah,
to.
dude.
I don't need to be a literal pioneer of some uncharted cave
No.
system.
I really hate whatever the heck my background just did change to.
What is it?
It just changed. I don't like it. It's all right. No big deal. So tell me something else about the Mammoth Caves, my friend.
Okay. Like I said, it's the largest cave system. It is twice as long as the second largest cave system. So number 2 is behind by its own
For
size.
length and actual, because I think the one I looked up is the largest cave.
One single cave, right? But
One
this is a
single
system of
cave.
caves, right? This is a system of caves.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. So yeah, the cave system is twice as long as an
second
underwater
longest.
cave that's in Mexico, and my penmanship
That's
is
the one. That's the one.
Saskatoon.
Stacatoon. That's the one that I was talking
yeah.
about. Yes, that's the one that they just recently explored and
Right,
found.
yeah, and that's the second largest. So if you took that one and doubled it, then you get Mammoth Cave, and it's right here in the old
that's-
USA.
Oh man, so that's what twice as much means if you take the length of one thing and add it to itself.
Yes,
I appreciate you explaining that to me.
Hey, it's no problem at all, Joe. I don't mind. I'm here to just break things down and make them understandable for feeble minds like yourself. It's totally fine.
You know
It's
what?
totally
I'm
fine.
happy I play this card for you, so we can make this simpler for other people.
I'm sure we have some real idiots listening, so we need to kind of just really dumb it down sometimes.
We got to. Well, you know what, dude? This is the thing. There's
I'm sure
warnings on
Elon
cameras.
Musk isn't listening, and compared to him, everyone is a total idiot. I'm sure. So.
Do you think
well,
he's an alien?
No, I don't think he's an alien. And I think he's probably not all that super smart either. People are like, oh, he's like a crazy genius. He has good ideas, and he has resource. Like, yes, all right.
That
you
dude
have
knows
to,
how to make money.
He knows, that's the thing. He knows how to make money.
He knows how to make money.
And he has
and
good
knows how to
ideas.
and he
Yeah.
knows how to apply that money that he's earned
To things that will make more
to
money.
things that make more money
Yeah.
and to things that will better the human race.
Right.
Elon
And you know
Musk
the other
should
thing,
be
too?
president.
His attitude about the whole thing. Well, I don't know what he's like as a person.
I don't give a shit what
because
he's like about a person. Because a person that wants to do
he
things
gets shit done.
he gets shit done.
Yeah.
He's
And
a
he's
dedicated person.
Excuse me. He's altruistic, man. He wants to make the world a better place.
That's it.
And also a more fun and interesting and fucking badass place. I'm down. I'm down.
I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, for sure.
Elon Musk should be the president. Elon Musk should be the
Elon Musk should be the
should
president.
be the ruler of the world.
The ruler of the. I don't know if we want a ruler of the world. Well, here's the
Do you think
thing.
he would take that
Do you
job?
really
He's got
think-
more important
well-
things to do? He's not. He's too busy.
2 questions for you. Question 1. Do you think? Yeah, I don't think so either. Question
No.
2.
Not in the least.
Also no. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, it's silly. It's a silly position.
Popularity
right?
contest. I
It
don't
should
need
be,
it.
if
We don't
anything, it
need
should be a group of people, right?
It should be it's not it's but a group of people have difficulty coming to a conclusion about a mass majority of
Well, that's
questions
fine, but
that
the
arise.
president is in charge of so many different things that, like, come on now, like, is that really realistic for us?
Well, this
to...
is the thing though. It's policing the people that you put in power to do the things that you want them to do
That's
under
fair.
the same idea of what you want to accomplish.
Right.
The problem is people are people. Human beings, we're
Yeah.
idiots.
Yeah.
We make
We're
we make
greedy.
mistakes. We're greedy. We can't help
We have emotions.
have
God
the same
forbid.
intent on most majority of things, but people that can't control it,
Yeah.
quick reactions to things, it could be in a bad situation. So
Yeah.
no and no, but we need to figure out something.
Yeah.
And obviously dictatorships don't work.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly
Well, you
think
know
that
what's
they should
funny?
be a lot less, dude. You should go by state.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Did you hear what Pennsylvania just did?
I did not. No.
Pennsylvania just eradicated 1,100 miles of bordering county borders.
Really?
Yeah, they were just like, we all agree on the same stuff. We're just one big huge county now. So
That's
instead
cool.
of having, yeah, dude, it's really cool. What is that, dude? You know what I mean? What are borders, bro? You know what I mean? You look
Yeah,
at
it's
you look
silly.
in like backyards and stuff like that, dude. Like border.
Well, it's like I
walls,
wonder about that, man,
and
because
property lines. That's one thing. But when you're actually just going out and being like, actually, this town bought this from this town, so we're gonna, and then it comes back up like this, and then that, nope,
yeah.
you're crossing the borderline, son. The laws are different here. Motherfucker, I'm in the woods hiking with
Right.
my dog.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know that I couldn't pee on a tree here because right over on that I could pee on that tree.
Yeah.
I
But
could
the thing,
pee on that tree.
the thing about it, though, Joe, is that I've struggled with thinking about this myself. It's like people have their right to their opinion and their outlooks on things, even if they're totally ridiculous and wrong
Or if
and
they're
so
wrong.
stupid. They're right. They're entitled to it, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a group of people that say for example, there was a group of human beings that were purple, that their skin was purple, okay? And there was a group of white people who said that I think that all purple people should be killed, They shouldn't be allowed to have jobs. They shouldn't be allowed to own property. They just hate their guts. If there was a group of people around the United States that felt that way, and they decided they all wanted to live in one little section and have their own laws and rules in that section, and they wouldn't bother anybody, but in that section, purple people are not allowed, and if purple people wander in, it's like bad things can happen. Like what do we do with those people? You know what I mean? That's the whole conversation of, people say that there's a whole lot of like neo-Nazis, for example, and shit, like modern day fascists and stuff like that. People who want things that are bad for the human race overall, that segregate on purpose and shit like that. They're out there, man. And there's people who want them to be silenced, but if they're silenced, then we won't know where they are. But then what do we do with it anyway? You know what I mean? There are like legit awful, horrible, racist people out there. The KKK still exists. That's bad. That's not a good thing. But we can't make that kind of thing against the law, because then what's next? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, man. Because if you start changing things and you start making laws and you take away people's freedoms and their rights to do that,
right?
Freedom of speech, religion, all that stuff, dude. That's
right. I think we should have those freedoms, but at the same time, we got to do something about the people who have their heads up their asses so far that they think that black people are subhuman or some crazy idea. Like, that's bananas,
ridiculous.
Dude.
It is bananas.
Like, not only is it scientifically not true, it's such a closed-minded idea. You losing me?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
It is a closed-minded thing, dude.
Yeah.
It really is, dude. And it blows my mind. Well, dude,
Oh, I'm losing you now. So we were saying that, what do we do with the people whose ideology is just so screwed up that if we gave them any kind of power, they would make really bad things happen, and they live in our country, and it's legal, and it should be for them to have these fucked up ideologies, but like, what do we do about that, man?
Well, this is the thing, dude.
We just try to educate the children and hope that they...
Let's go after the First Amendment, because the freedom of speech is already being infringed upon.
That's
Am I right?
Yeah.
Freedom of religion. Let's take that away.
What do you mean?
Like,
take it away? You mean you trying to do like a thought experiment?
Everybody wants to take away the Second Amendment. Let's start with the first. Let's start with number one. Let's assess the situation.
I don't think everybody wants to take away the Second Amendment.
I don't think a lot. I don't know. I don't think everybody does. But why did we start on 2?
Because that one's about guns and people keep shooting each other.
Well, that's fine. That's not going to stop.
No, it isn't.
Well, the other thing, though, too,
like I'm one of the few people.
Maybe that's his religion. Maybe that's his religion. That's his right as a neo-Nazi to want to go and do and shoot up places. That's his right. That's how his religion.
That's the thing, man. It's like if somebody comes to our country and it's part of their religion to, like, I don't know, abuse women, not to name any specific religions or ideologies, but say, for example, hypothetically, we don't let them do that. Right? So why do we let other shit fly?
The best thing about the Constitution, when it was being written by the men who wrote it, is they said the best thing about this
is we can change it later.
If we need to.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
Well, who do we trust to change it?
Maybe we should start on 1. Maybe we shouldn't have to say, no, this is illegal. If your religion wants to cause harm to other people and their freedoms,
fuck that.
Their thoughts, you're going to get fucking put in a hole.
Yeah.
With a bunch of lime over you.
Yeah, but
because your body's already dead.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that, Joe. And I wish that it were that simple, but it's not that simple. Because what happens is people say, "Oh, okay, then sure, yes, sir, I don't believe that," but they really do, and they go underground with their beliefs, and they gather underground, and they still believe the same thing, whether it's illegal or not. You know what I mean? They just pretend. It's like the Inquisition. You know what I mean? That didn't change people's minds about shit. All it did was, you know what I mean? It's like that's why torture doesn't work.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Because if you get negative reinforcement, it's not effective. So my thing is like, so I hope maybe we can just try to educate the children and hope that the old racist people die out. I'm losing you again. You're gone. I think the internet doesn't want us to talk about deep shit, dude. So it keeps cutting out every time we get onto some.
Cuts out every time.
Every time we get ready to solve some real social problem.
Legitimately, every time we're ready to just like really break down the barriers, dude.
Yeah.
And get into stuff.
I guess we'll just get back into cave stuff then.
Look at see, yeah, we need to start talking about caves again. I bet you we're gonna be good. Watch, solid.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. Get another hour.
Nope. You're gone. All right. Well, it's just not a good internet night, folks. Just not a good internet night. Well, we talked about some cave stuff. I guess we'll do an underground stuff part 2 because there's a good amount we didn't get to. So we'll see you next time. Take care.